Back to take some swings on the week that was. I'm Cory McCartney, joined by PBR Georgia Scouting Director Phil Kerber for our latest three cuts. Phil, good to have you in as always.
Glad to be back.
Now let's open up with Dylan Lesko, the Buford right-hander Vanderbilt commit, has been simply dominant in a very strong pitching staff. He now has 5 starts with at least 9 strikeouts and 42 Ks in all to just 4 walks with a .82 ERA. The scary thing, Phil, he's a junior sitting as the top-ranked righty in the class of 2022.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine what the next year and a half is going to hold for him. I mean, comes out as 94, 96 against Maris, and you were typically used to seeing him, throw that nasty changeup he's got, but he was missing low with it, so he went with a slider, and that was just, it was just as good as throwing the changeup. He was getting swing and misses on it. It was 77, 80 miles an hour, and that's a pitch we've kind of been waiting to see, where's the breaking ball going to go? Because the changeup's always been so advanced. Now we're seeing that he's got another really great off-speed pitch in his back pocket with that slider, and then you see what he does at the plate. It just goes to show how athletic and how talented he is. A 3-run homer, and it wasn't an easy homer either because the wind was blowing, straight in from left field, maybe a little bit across the field. So he hit it dead into the wind and carried it out of the park.
That Maris outing, by the way, that was the first time this season in which Lesko has allowed a run. So the guy's been just simply ridiculous. All right, let's turn our attention to another class of 2022 in Greenbrier's David Bell, an uncommitted top 6 catcher among juniors. But Phil, you're here to rave about his two-way game.
Yeah, I've always been impressed with David on the mound. We got to see him a ton over the summer, and he was on Team Georgia at the Future Games back in August. A guy that's always lived in the upper 80s with just a really nice 12-6 hammer. He just works at an incredible pace too. You wish you had a pitching staff full of him because he can get a game done in an hour and a half. He's like a Mark Burley type guy where get the ball, go, I'm throwing strikes. If you hit it, it's getting put in play and it's probably going to be weak contact, and that's all he does. And then at the plate, he's looking better and better. It's he's that strength that he's starting to really accumulate in his frame is starting to show itself in the swing. And he was 2 for 2 with 2 home runs, 1 to center field, 1 to right center. So he's got that gap to gap power, and he carried them to a win over Eastside. It was a really impressive all around performance from him.
Yeah, the guy's an extra base machine. This season, he already has 4 doubles and a pair of triples, so certainly getting it done at the plate. So finally, a big week of LakePoint sports with the PBR High School Select coming to campus Wednesday through Saturday. Some heavy hitters from here in Georgia, Alatoona, Carrollton, but IMG Academy, of course, the 2022's top-ranked player in Elijah Green. You got Bob Jones and Florence out of Alabama, Baylor from Tennessee. Phil, this is going to be an absolute show.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try to go through all of the talented players that are going to be at the park this week, but I'm just going to say if you've got nothing to do and you really like baseball, be at LakePoint from Wednesday to Saturday because there are going to be some big-time matchups. IMG Academy, arguably the best team in the country. I'd say Buford might like to have a word about that, but we'll let that one rest. And then just, Baylor, like everybody you name, there's going to be draft guys on every single team. There's going to be future draft guys on every single one of those teams. So if you're looking for highly competitive baseball this week, that's the place to be.
Yeah, and you can also watch it on LakePoint Live via Power by Play site. So get to lakepointsports.com for all the info if you can't make it to campus. And also make sure you're following Phil on Twitter. He's at Phil Kerber PBR, and follow PBR Georgia while you're at it. Phil, thanks, and enjoy the baseball week.
Thanks for having me on.